Brought to you by WikiVidi.com. Vodka. Vodka is a distilled beverage composed primarily of water and ethanol, sometimes with traces of impurities and flavorings. Traditionally, vodka is made by the distillation of cereal grains or potatoes that have been fermented, though some modern brands use other substances, such as fruits or sugar. Since the 1890s, the standard Polish, Russian, Belarusian, Ukrainian, Estonian, Latvian, Lithuanian, and Czech vodkas are 40% alcohol by volume ABV, a percentage that is widely misattributed to Dmitri Mendeleev. The European Union has established a minimum of 37.5% ABV for any European vodka to be named as such. Products sold as vodka in the United States must have a minimum alcohol content of 40%. Even with these loose restrictions, most vodka sold contains 40% ABV. For homemade vodkas and distilled beverages referred to as moonshine, see moonshine by country. Vodka is traditionally drunk neat, though it is often served chilled in the vodka belt countries: Russia, Belarus, Poland, Ukraine, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, Sweden, Norway, Finland, and Iceland. It is also commonly used in cocktails and mixed drinks, such as the vodka martini, cosmopolitan, vodka tonic, screwdriver, greyhound, black or white Russian, Moscow Mule, and Bloody Mary. Etymology. The name vodka is a diminutive form of the Slavic word voda, interpreted as little water, root water, plus a. The word vodka was recorded for the first time in 1405 in Akta Grodzki, the court documents from the Palatinate of Sandomierz in Poland. At the time, the word vodka referred to medicines and cosmetic products, while the beverage was called gortsorka, which is also the source of Ukrainian horolka. The word vodka, written in Cyrillic, appeared first in 1533, in relation to a medicinal drink brought from Poland to Russia by the merchants of Kiev and Rus. Although the word vodka could be found in early manuscripts and in Lubok pictograms, it began to appear in Russian dictionaries only in the mid-19th century. It was attested in Samuel Gyarmatha's Russian-German-Hungarian glossary of 1799, where it is glossed with Latin vinum adustum. In English literature, the word vodka was attested already in the late 18th century. In a book of his travels published in English in 1780, Johann Gottlieb Georgi correctly explained that kabak in the Russian language signifies a public house for the common people to drink vodka in. William Tooke in 1799 glossed vodka as rectified corn spirits. In French, Théophile Gautier in 1800 glossed it as a grain liquor served with meals in Poland. Another possible connection of vodka with water is the name of the medieval alcoholic beverage aqua vitae, which is reflected in Polish okowita, Ukrainian, Belarusian, and Scandinavian akvavit. People in the area of vodka's probable origin have names for vodka with roots meaning to burn. Samogitian, dejtin, is also in use, colloquially and in proverbs. In Russian during the 17th and 18th centuries, or was widely used. Others languages include the German Brandwein, Danish Brandoven, and history. Scholars debate the beginnings of vodka. It is a contentious issue, because very little historical material is available. For many centuries, beverages differed significantly compared to the vodka of today, as the spirit at that time had a different flavor, color and smell, and was originally used as medicine. It contained little alcohol, an estimated maximum of about 14%, as only this amount can be attained by natural fermentation. The still, allowing for distillation, increased purity, and increased alcohol content, was invented in the 8th century. Poland. In Poland, vodka has been produced since the early Middle Ages, with local traditions as varied as the production of cognac in France, or Scottish whiskey. The world's first written mention of the drink and of the word vodka was in 1405, from Akta Grodzki, recorder of deeds, in the court documents. from the Palatinate of Sandomierz in Poland, and it went on to become a popular drink there. At the time, the word vodka referred to chemical compounds such as medicines and cosmetics cleansers, while the popular beverage currently known as vodka was called gortsorka, which is also the source of Ukrainian horolka. The word, written in Cyrillic, appeared first in 1533, in relation to a medicinal drink brought from Poland to Russia by the merchants of Kiev and Rus. In these early days, the spirits were used mostly as medicines. Stefan Falimirs asserted in his 1534 works on herbs that vodka could serve to increase fertility and awaken lust. Vodka Lub Gorzala, by Jerzy Potansky, contains valuable information on the production of vodka. Jakub Kazimierz, in his book Skalad albo Skarbiek Znakomitych Sekretów Ekonomii Ziemiańskiej, gave detailed recipes for making vodka from rye. Some Polish vodka blends go back centuries. Most notable are Brauka, from about the 16th century, Goldwasser, from the early 17th century, and Aged Starka vodka, from the 16th century. In the mid-17th century, the Szlachta were granted a monopoly on producing and selling vodka in their territories. This privilege was a source of substantial profits. One of the most famous distilleries of the aristocracy was established by Princess Lubomirska, and later operated by her grandson, Count Alfred Wojtek Potocki. The Vodka Industry Museum, located at the park of the Potocki Country Estate, has an original document attesting that the distillery already existed in 1784. Today it operates as Polmos Lankut. Vodka production on a much larger scale began in Poland at the end of the 16th century, initially at Kraków, whence spirits were exported to Silesia before 1550. Silesian cities also bought vodka from Poznan, a city that in 1580 had 498 working spirits distilleries. Soon, however, Gdansk outpaced both these cities. In the 17th and 18th centuries, Polish vodka was known in the Netherlands, Denmark, England, Russia, Germany, Austria, Hungary, Romania, Ukraine, Bulgaria and the Black Sea Basin. Early production methods were rudimentary. The beverage was usually low-proof, and the distillation process had to be repeated several times. The first distillate was called Brantauka, the second was Zumoka, and the third was Okawerta, which generally contained 70–80% ABV. Then the beverage was watered down, yielding a simple vodka, or a stronger one if the watering was done using an alembic. The exact production methods were described in 1768 by Jan Paweł Beretowski and in 1774 by Jan Chrysostom Pasek. The late 18th century inaugurated the production of vodka from various unusual substances, including even the carrot, though there was clearly a substantial vodka cottage industry in Poland back to the 16th century. The end of the 18th century marked the start of real industrial production of vodka in Poland. Vodkas produced by the nobility and clergy became a mass product. The first industrial distillery was opened in 1782 in Lwow by J. A. Bachevsky. He was soon followed by Jakub Habefeld, who in 1804 established a factory at Oswiecim, and by Hartwig Kantorowicz, who started producing Wyborowa in 1823 at Poznan. The implementation of new technologies in the latter half of the 19th century, which allowed the production of clear vodkas, contributed to their success. The first rectification distillery was established in 1871. In 1925, the production of clear vodkas was made a Polish government monopoly. After World War II, all vodka distilleries were taken over by Poland's Marxist-Leninist government. During the martial law of the 1980s, the sale of vodka was rationed. Following the success of the Solidarity movement and the abolition of single-party rule in Poland, many distilleries began struggling financially. Some filed for bankruptcy, but many were privatized, leading to the creation of various new brands. Thank you for watching, brought to you by WikiVidi.com. Please like and subscribe below. Please Please like and subscribe below.